we'll start with the prayer.
Sahana bhavatu, Sahanau bhunaktu, Saha Viryam karavavahai, Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.
We started the study of this book last week, Governing Business and Relationships. So this book is nothing but self-management. So that's the theme of the book. So we are calling it a complete manual on self-management. So what it means that if you cannot manage yourself, if you cannot manage your inner personality, you will not be able to manage anything external in life, which includes every aspect of your life. First of all, you won't be able to handle your relationships at home with your spouse, with your children. You go to your workplace, you'll have a problem. Then you'll have problem about your work. How do you manage? How do you manage your finances? How do you manage your relationship with the society, the world, environment at large? And innocent as people are, they believe that problem is in the external world, and we try to correct external world. There is no problem in the external world at all. So that's what the book is telling us. That's the theme all about. And when we say self-management, all of you know, it is intellect which has to manage your mind. And if your intellect can manage your mind, then you can conquer the whole world. But if you can't manage your mind, then there is nothing you can handle. Life will be full of stress, worry, anxiety, and all that. There'll be problems after problems in your life. And last week we started with the preface, and we read the first two paragraphs. So just to recap the main points in these two paragraphs, so everybody's on the same page. So what Swamiji is telling us, that there is only one cause for our inability to deal with the challenges of the world. And that cause is nothing but weak intellect. And not only our intellect is weak, we do not know our intellect is weak. So it's like a catch-22 position. I mean, how do you know? I have to be aware that I'm not healthy. Then only I will put efforts to be healthy. But if I'm not aware, I'm not healthy, then how can I will remain unhealthy? So that's our problem. So that's the reason you can't analyze any challenging situation you face in life. And life is nothing but challenges for all of us. It's a matter of degrees. Because life is nothing but pairs of opposites, dandvas, isn't it? So when we encounter any challenge in life, challenging situation in life, so what do you need to resolve it? It could be a simple situation, it could be a very simple challenge. So how would you resolve that challenge? How would you address that particular situation in your life? It could be simple. Let's take a very basic example. Like there are differences of opinion between husband and wife. Arguments, it is bound to happen. No two minds are same. So the moment you are living with another individual, I mean, they're bound at some stage, some differences will be there. No two vasanas are same. So how would you? I like Vedanta. I don't like Vedanta. It is possible, one household, there could be two extreme views. What is this philosophy you're doing? Nonsense, wasting your time. Such a nice day. Let's go play golf. But you want to come and attend the Vedanta class. So one thing is you fight and fight and fight, and nothing comes out of it. That is mind. 9 out of 10 cases. But if you have an intellect, I mean, how would you handle the situation? Simple, innocuous example I am giving you so that we understand the concept.
You need a sharp intellect.
Correct, but then how do you apply that? That we know.
You logically think about that, reason out, and then take a little time and respond.
Yeah. Anyone else? Simple example. Yeah.
Let him go play golf and I attend the class.
Excellent. You don't need this class. I don't know why are you attending this class, Ariel. Honestly. No, I don't mean, very good answer. I mean, it's a common sense. But how many people have common sense? Common sense is nothing but intellect. Let him play golf, you attend classes or whatever. So to address any situation, any challenge in life, what we need is an intellect. And fortunately, we have that capacity. So therefore, Swamiji gave example of that F-16. So we discussed example of like geese. So what's the capacity of that bird? I mean, one of the best flyers in the world, bird geese. But when it tries to cross the road, it is run over by cars. This morning also when I was driving, I saw one geese lying dead. It's not a pleasant sight. You feel sorry. Why can't it fly? So why can't we fly? And that's our capacity. But small petty problems, people they can't handle. It's a storm, it's a hurricane, but actually it's a storm in a teacup. So if you have a powerful intellect, if you strengthen your intellect, you will be able to handle your career and your relationships. So that's the book all about. Your profession, you'll be more productive, you'll be more successful, you'll be more peaceful, you'll be able to get along with everybody. You'll be a leader above all. And secondly, relationships, any relationship at home, which is personal and work relationships. So that's the book all about.
May I ask a question?
Yeah, you'll get time in the end. We are just recapping. So you will do well in life if you become aware of this fact that we need to develop our intellect. So this is what we covered last week. Okay. So let's continue with paragraph number 3. Okay. So try to get hold of the book. It is available on Amazon. Who is going to read?
3 and 4.
Okay, Charu, can you read paragraph number 3, please?
Yes, Amitji. The world today lacks the awareness of the intellect, much less the necessity to develop it. For centuries, the human intellect has been totally neglected, causing severe damage to persons and families, corporations and countries. Yet, people have not awakened to this stark reality. They remain complacent, not realizing the vital role the intellect plays in human life. That all management and sound relationship must proceed from reason and judgment of the intellect rather than feeling and emotion of the mind.
Continue.
The corporates mechanically follow routine practices in the conduct of their business laid down by self-styled business schools. Spouses and parents are overwhelmingly emotional than rational in their approach to each other and their children, while religious practitioners pursue dogged, pertinacious procedures set by their leaders, baseless beliefs, superstitions, and rituals. The entire human race blindly adopts a life set by predecessors. The intellect lacking development and strength hardly plays a part in the lives of people. Consequently, families are torn apart, business houses collapse, and nations are at daggers drawn. While governing bodies in the fields of education, politics, and religion helplessly gaze at the internal and external crisis that humanity faces.
Nations are at dragons drawn. This sentence doesn't need an explanation in today's context. So, what is telling us? See, is what we understand that it is blind who is leading the blind. That's the gist of this paragraph. See, for example, there are management professionals who conduct seminars telling people that stress is external. I come from a well-known business school back home, when I was 23, 24. That time it was ranked number 3 or number 4 in India. And I've gone through many of such seminars. Like everybody is like suited, booted, and you go in a 5-star hotel, and everything stylish. People are articulate and very like well mannered and all that. So who will not buy that? And they convince you that how stress is external. The first and the last lesson we learn in Vedanta, or any scripture for that matter, that word cannot bother you. It is impossible. But it is today. I mean, that is our experience. So therefore, we buy it. So stress is not external, it is internal. So it's your own incapacity to manage your mind, which produces stress. But there are no takers for this. Whole America should be listening to what we are saying right now, and it is free. Nobody is paying any price. Charu, how much you are paying to attend today's lecture? 0. Vijay, how much you are paying? Therefore, there are no takers. So the best of the advice which is given out by the scriptures, there are no takers. See that only by example we had to understand this. And nobody questions, how come stress is external? Even when I'm saying stress is internal, somebody should ask how stress is internal. But it's a fact of life that nothing external can produce stress. Only when your intellect is weak and when your mind overpowers the intellect, naturally you will be stressed. Unfulfilled desires and their modifications, they produce stress. The whole business world functions on borrowing and borrowing and borrowing. I'm trying to explain that how blindly we follow everything. And business after business, they are collapsing. Same thing is happening at the level of the family. The first thing you do, especially in this country, is you borrow money. The rest of your life you spend in what? Paying your debts. It's like a sword hanging on your head, entire life. What happens if you lose job or something happens for 2, 3, 4 years? The whole thing is gone. No more Vedanta classes. Don't worry. It will not happen to you. Enough good karma, both husband and wife are done. And our Vedanta house is always available. I am alone, I can live in anybody's basement. Don't worry. Some of you have been to Vedanta Academy in India. So we had 25 acres of campus. Not even a cent was borrowed. People don't believe it. Charu was there yesterday. You can tell them how big is the campus. 25 acres campus. I've seen how it grows. Last 32 years I've been witness. And people were telling Swamiji when the whole thing is started, Swamiji, you don't understand the real world. He said, okay, maybe I don't. Without borrowing, you can't construct anything. You cannot build institution. Not even a cent was borrowed. See, it takes a while. Is what I'm trying to tell you. But eventually, it will. It happens. Same thing is happening to us in Vedanta Midwest. I think this must be the only institute in America minus property. Rather, where is our property? You know, this is a property right now. As long as we are on good terms with Vijay and Raji, we have a place. The moment I fight with them or they fight with me, online classes, right? See, it is so easy for me as a head of the institution, to borrow money. I mean, every other day I get emails from Bank of America. You're eligible for. I think yesterday only I got email. $750,000 we are eligible to borrow. Rather, Veera. Hey, I mean, how long it takes? Next week we could have our own property. But the speaker will be talking to you will be on antidepressants. You understand the whole thing. I'm talking on like the self management, and I myself cannot manage myself that desire. But eventually it will happen. Don't worry. Don't ask me how. Eventually it will happen. So it takes a while. This is what I'm trying to tell you. But nobody questions that. Everybody is doing, so I'm also doing it. Not to talk about how people, their life is literally, they are in trouble because of attachment and possessiveness in a relationship. And one by one, I'm taking up so that you can understand what he's saying. But how parents pamper their children to the point of fault. Now, I can give you 100 examples that where I will blame parents for literally destroying their children's lives. See, when I was 18 or 19, I saw a very strange thing. It fits into this, what we are discussing, how parents spoil their children. This happened when I was a student in India. So one man, he was walking a dog, huge, like German Shepherd dog, like massive. His head must have been like this. We all were like, used to be scared. Oh my God. Actually, this is what the story is. What happened? So one small street dog came, this size maybe. You can't even say like 30% of his size. And due to whatever reasons, he attacked that German Shepherd, that massive dog. It's like you and I challenging Mike Tyson. I mean, where is I mean, there is no contest there. So we thought like that small dog is gone, will be torn to pieces. But that German Shepherd, he started running around his owner and he jumped on him. So he wanted his owner to pick him up. He couldn't handle that tiny little dog. Do you understand what I am saying? What is the reason? If you understand this, you understand what we are discussing. Tiny little dog, he attacked that German Shepherd, and German Shepherd is running around, save me, save me, save me. What is the reason? It's same psychology applies in humans. What's the reason?
German Shepherd did not know its own capacity, strength.
You're not wrong, but there's something else.
German Shepherd had tremendous amount of energy and he knew that he can wipe this off in a second, but he was not able to control his mind. So he's asking his owner, please help me control my mind.
Nothing like that happened.
Um,
Dog means mind
because
only. Dog means mind only.
so because the German Shepherd was pampered to the extent that he needed help and care all the time, cannot take care of himself.
Correct, excellent. Pampered to the like he so much so that he became a mouse, really like a mouse. Now, exactly same thing you are doing to your children. Now you will not talk. 9 out of 10 cases, okay. 8 out of 10 cases, 7, okay. 7 out of 10 cases you are doing. Pampering them to the point of fault, attachment and possessiveness and all that. Nobody thinks. Same thing is happening in the religious field. It is blind who is leading the blind. The knowledge is lost. And all religions, by and large, they have been reduced to blind faith, mechanical rituals, and superstitious beliefs. That's it. The knowledge has taken a complete backseat. So there are no takers. And even if you want to convey this knowledge to the world, extremely difficult when there is no support. How will you carry on your activities? And those who are associated with us, they know what is the reality. But the moment you sell something which has got nothing to do with knowledge, which is not based on logic and reason, most people will follow it. There is no connection of yoga and spirituality. I'm giving you examples one by one so that you understand what is happening. Yoga is a great exercise which is required for our physical fitness. But there is no connection between physical exercises and your spiritual growth. Whole America is buying it. And it's Indian Swamis who came from India, they are responsible for this, whatever it is happening. Every street in America has a yoga studio. And Americans, they are innocent. So that's the beauty of this country. They are so open. No other country in the world is like this. So they are very Catholic. And anybody comes with new ideas, they immediately embrace. And in good cases, it is also a blind faith. So Indian Swamis who came to America 40, 50, 60 years back, they have sold entire America to this. That you do yoga, you do exercises, and you'll evolve spiritually. One of the very famous yoga gurus, I won't mention the name, he's based in Bombay. He passed away a long time back. He was 30 years senior to my guru, Swamiji. Swamiji turned 100 on June 7th. And this person I'm talking about, 30 years senior to Swamiji. So when Swamiji was in his 30s, 30, 35, he used to live in Malabar Hill, one of the suburbs in Bombay. And this gentleman had a small, he used to live in somebody's house, or somebody had donated a small house and used to conduct yoga classes. He used to ride a bicycle to meet Swamiji. Once in a month he used to come, which is like a good hour and a half. And his students, few of his students, they learned yoga from him. 10, 20% they gathered in tits and bits. They came to America and within 10 years, they built multi-million dollar empires. And one of the students was known, he used to fly his own aircraft. And this is what they taught, that you do yoga, you become spiritual. And that guru used to come and discuss with Swamiji, sir, yoga is for fitness. Also with yoga, I teach knowledge, Vedanta. There are hardly any takers. Eventually, that institute became famous. Now they got some 200-300 acres of campus near Bombay. I won't mention the name. It's not what we need to understand is the concept. But during his lifetime, that person, good part of his life, he was in poverty-like conditions. No takers. So we can go on multiplying examples. So that's what he means. The corporates mechanically follow routine practices. Same thing is happening in religion. Same thing is happening at home. Why? Because nobody thinks. Yeah. Please continue. Veera?
The human intellect can handle, harness the rigors of nature and the colossal challenges of life. But the neglect of the intellect has left human beings troubled and tortured by the slightest confrontation of the world. The celebrated English poet William Wordsworth laments on this sad state. It grieves my heart to think what man has made of man when every flower enjoys the air it breathes.
Yeah. Try to memorize this sentence. It grieves my heart to think what man has made of man when every flower enjoys the air it breathes. What it means? It is happening to all of us. It's a question of more or less. But what it means? William Wordsworth is saying that.
Like it's sad to think of how toxic the man thinks about each other when like even a flower can enjoy life, but man can't, and we are the ones with the brains, you know.
Yeah, good. What man has made of man? What have you done to yourself? What's your capacity? Actually, what's your capacity? Infinite peace, infinite bliss. That's you, that's me, that's our original nature. But what has happened to us? What have you done to yourself? If you had done to yourself, not everybody, no need to feel dejected. What's your capacity? You are that truth, you are that reality. You belong to that state of infinite peace and infinite bliss. Nobody is denied that capacity. That's the original capacity. And that's what even Bhagavad Gita is telling us. That's the backdrop of Bhagavad Gita. The warrior of Arjuna's caliber, a highly successful person, could not deal with a challenge. So find out, ask yourself, am I happy? It's not that you're not, it's not that you're miserable, but is there a cheer in your life? It's a very simple test. If there is no cheer in your life, something is amiss. And good many people, as if you are entering a funeral home, some of the places you go, people, they are tense for no logic and reason. I don't know how many of you have been to Vedanta Academy. Everybody is laughing there all the time. And some people, they get annoyed. What's so funny? There are visitors who ask this question, what's so funny? Everything is funny. If there is no cheer in your life, that life is not worth living. You may have all the wealth in the world, you may have all the power in the world. Everything could be plus in your life. But if there is no cheer in your life, what man has made of man? Why there is no cheer? If there is no cheer, find out why there is no cheer. Because your mind has overpowered your intellect. That's what it means. Yes, sir. Please continue.
Furthermore, the intellect is of two kinds, based on its distinct functions. They are known as, in Sanskrit language, as Tikshna Buddhi, gross intellect, and Sukshma Buddhi, subtle intellect. The gross intellect's function is confined to the extremities of the universe, while the subtle intellect can go beyond the universe and reach the transcendental reality through identification with one's own self within.
Please continue.
A powerful gross intellect could with ease take care of the problems pertaining to all mundane affairs, be it business or time management, work ethics or leadership, family relationships or stress. Whereas the subtle intellect, identifying with the self, could gain the ultimate of all management.
Please.
Herein, You are given the formula for governing the perennial confrontations of the world you live in and rising above to attain complete sovereignty over it.
Perfect. So we have talked about intellect so far. So intellect is of two types. There are two functions of the intellect: gross intellect and subtle intellect. So gross intellect you use in your day-to-day life. It could be simple, basic reasoning or analysis, right up to the complex thing what you are designing. Autonomous cars, yeah. All the autonomous cars you see in America, the designer is sitting in front of me right now. Yeah. If something goes wrong, you catch him. I can give his phone number and email. Not really, don't worry. Yeah. So it's very complex from that to the basic, no? But still, you are using your intellect, which is necessary. And only when you use your intellect in your day to day life, you will be calm and composed. And only when you are calm and composed, you can think of your ultimate mission in life. See, there, then only your spiritual vision comes into sharp focus. Otherwise, you could be sincere. Most of you are sincere. No, I mean, I know that. But do you have the capacity to deal with your basic challenges? That's the problem with most people. You know, you can't. Most people they cannot, because if you cannot begin with get along with your own spouse, you don't know how to manage your children, you can't deal with your finances, you can't deal with your colleagues, you can't handle work pressure. I mean, what spirituality? It just sounds very like rosy, but it doesn't apply. So therefore, to begin with, you need to use your intellect to deal with all facets of your life, your day-to-day life. Then only your spiritual mission, your spirituality will come into sharp focus. So that's the ultimate aim in life. And then how do you do it? So he gives the solution. That's the book all about. Herein, you are given the formula for governing the perennial confrontations of the world you live in and rising above to attain complete sovereignty over it. So basically, knowledge. So knowledge is there. In all the scriptures, knowledge is there. But you need to turn that knowledge into wisdom. That's the meaning. Otherwise, you may know the whole book pit pat, but may not be able to apply anything. Therefore, I gave example. I could be talking on self-management and I could be on antidepressants. Why? Because while driving to Vijay's house near Lake Gilbert, I saw property for sale for $850,000. Incidentally, I saw today, And then I remember that email. Oh, $750,000 we can borrow from the bank is willing to give. Vijay, Raji, Veera, Shailesh Bhai, Billa uncle, 100,000 like by afternoon they will give me. And within a month it will be a nice new house, cute little house by the lakeside. The speaker is tense, the audience is tense, and what are we talking about? And we are talking tall about governing business and relationships. Knowledge is there, information is there, but there is no wisdom. So you need to study, reflect. Manana, that's the word. You need to reflect on the knowledge which scriptures are giving to us. Then only that knowledge turns into wisdom. Otherwise, you may know, but you cannot apply that knowledge, however great that knowledge could be, is in your day-to-day life. So it's a lifelong mission. Yesterday I was talking to Neha. I don't know whether she's here. Are you there, Neha? No? Okay. So she called me about her e-learning. What do you think? What I should do now? I mean, generally, I knew she's doing e-learning for a long time. I think most of you are doing here. 20, 25 people in Detroit area are doing e-learning. Then I asked, where are you? She said, I completed my third year. No? And then she said, okay, third year. Third year of the third cycle. One cycle is for 3 years. See, the e-learning course is what we went attended, in Vedanta Academy under Swamiji. So same video lectures are available. That's the course. So I thought maybe she's in the second cycle, the first year or something. So 3 years she has completed, 9 years, and she's not done yet. She's like, "Yeah, okay, when should I register?" I said, no, take a break. 27, when I come back from India, we'll talk. So it's a lifelong mission, and she's a totally different person in a good sense. Don't tell that to her, otherwise she will stop studying. Kiran, your past friend, yeah, I know. Don't tell her. If you praise anybody on the face, it's a disaster. That is Swamiji's style. He'll never praise you on your face, but behind your back, he will, he has the best things to say about you. So you have to put efforts to turn knowledge into wisdom. So therefore, your everyday study is important. It's not difficult. Like 30 minutes is more than enough. So what you have read, you must try to reflect on that next day in the morning. So stay within the framework of what we are discussing. Then only it is called as reflection. Otherwise, mind takes over. You may read 10 things from what I discussed today. What is yoga? What is yoga studio? Who is this person? Smith talked about corporate guru, and that's not Manana. So, what is the message? What is it that author is trying to convey? So that is how you do Manana, reflection, and then slowly but surely knowledge turns into wisdom. And when you have wisdom, then you live that knowledge. It's a slow and steady process, but that is how you evolve. This is how you apply this knowledge in your day to day life. So that completes the preface. So we'll start with chapter number 1. It's called as Structure of Management. And there are two topics. The first topic is manager. The second topic is managing. So when he says manager, it means the individual. So who is going to read? Okay. Charu?
Chapter 1, Structure of Management. Management is structured on the three basic constituents: manager, the person subject; managed, that which is dealt with, object; managing, the art of relating subject with object. Manager. The manager is one of the many roles a person plays in his life.
Sorry, Charu, just wait a second.
Okay.
Let me explain. See, when he says management is structured on three basic constituents: manager, managed, and managing. So, subject, object, and a relationship. I'm going to explain what it means. So, when we say manager, means the subject, the individual, the person who is contacting the world. Managed means what you are experiencing, and managing is that relationship. See, to give you a simple example, there is husband, there is wife, and there is a relationship between them. So, being a husband, you are the subject, wife is the object. And how you relate to your wife, are you with me? You may have best of person as your spouse. Object or being in this case is like the best wife you can get. But if you don't know how to relate to her, you can make a mess of that relationship. How many cases you have heard, isn't it? On the other hand, you may have a shrew as your wife, real shrew, taming of the shrew. That's the message. Nobody could get along with her. But Petruchio, he knew how to relate to her. So he had a best relationship with her. Simple example I am giving you. On the other hand, what example we always give? Who had the best wife in the world? So-called best wife. Desdemona. Shakespeare, right? In Othello. So he had a best wife, Desdemona. But what happened?
Jealousy.
Total mess. So therefore, subject, there is object, and how you relate to it. In your own work, you take for an example, you're a manager, whatever, you're in a particular position. Your corporation, your organization gives you what? Provides you with what? Task to manage. Resources they give you. But every person cannot manage the resources. Do you get it? So what you need is an intellect. See, I was watching documentary on Queen Mary 2, the ocean liner. Anybody knows about it? I think right now it's the only true ocean liner in the world. I mean, you can go from New York to Southampton. I don't want to plant thoughts in your mind, but I'm giving you as an example. You know, it's like it's amazing. Cruise ship is different from the ocean liner. This Queen Mary 2 is designed to cross the Atlantic. You know, I mean, amazing piece of engineering. So it's made from metal. If you really analyze screws and metals and so same metal is available for, let's say, a set of engineers. They can't produce Queen Mary 2, the engineering marvel of that engineering marvel. But there are set of engineers who produce that. Incidentally, it talks about the designer who actually designed Queen Mary 2. Right from the age of 5, it was his mission in life. I want to design the ocean liner. It's fascinating. Amazing piece of engineering. So two people, they are given the same resources, but one person cannot do anything. Another person, he creates what? The engineering marvel. So it depends on what? Hmm? Your intellect, how you manage your resources. Are you with me? See, otherwise it sounds very pedantic. Manager, managing. What does it mean? So you stick to the simple example. So it is subject, object, and relationship. Husband, wife, how you manage that relationship. You may have best kids, in a family, but do you have the capacity to manage them as a parent? So you can go on multiplying examples. So for that, you need a powerful intellect. Yes, Charu, continue.
Manager. The manager is one of the many roles a person plays in his life. The roles keep changing with time, place, environment, situation. You could be a manager in your office, a parent in your home, a sportsman in the field, a citizen of your country, etc. At a time, you may play one or more roles. For instance, you could be a manager and citizen at the same time. While you manage your business, you cannot ignore your obligation as a citizen of your country. However, through the diverse roles you play in life, the person who plays these roles remains the same.
Perfect. Underline that statement. The person who plays these roles remains the same. So what it means, it depends on whether you are using your mind or intellect. That's all it means. So if your personality is predominantly mind-based, intellect is weak, then you will approach your relationship with a spouse based on impulses, likes and dislikes of the mind. You will manage your relationship with your children again based on your mind. You go to the workplace, your relationship will be based on what? Mind based. You'll act on likes and dislikes, whims and fancies, impulses, and all that. But if your intellect is developed, you will apply that intellect in whatever role you play. So the individual does not change. The role we play is different, isn't it? See, right now I'm playing a role of a teacher. But when I meet my, let's say, sister, what is my role there? Like I'm a brother. When I had a wife, my role was a husband. When I go to meet Swamiji, my role is that of a student. When I meet my friends, my role is that of a friend. So one individual plays different roles, but the bottom line of the personality is same. So are you operating on the mind or are you operating on the intellect? That does not change. And already discussed what happens if you use your mind. What happens if you use your Intellect. What happens if you use your mind? What will happen?
Agitate.
There'll be problem. Right?
More agitations and stress because it'll be all everything will be based on likes and dislikes and all.
Correct. Excellent. See, even the relationship you take is very powerful tool. Somebody has a problem at home. Let's say husband could have problem with wife could have some issue with husband. There are chances that same person will have at some stage issues at work. Are you with me? Same person may have issues in a social setting. Okay, he gets fed up with that and comes to satsanga, right? Sooner or later, mind will take over. He or she will have conflicts there also, because the basic person is same. It is interesting. So, what have you done? Are you doing anything to strengthen your intellect? Otherwise, you'll keep on blaming the world. Home, you will blame wife. And poor thing, where will she go? She has to accept, right? Then you go to work. Whom do you blame? Everybody you blame. Then you are frustrated. This what is happening in America? Whom do you blame? You will blame politicians or who are the leaders of your community. Nobody will suspect. Perhaps something is wrong with me. It's interesting. Therefore, I said, underline that statement. The same individual, he remains the same. And then another important point is, see, one individual plays many roles. So that you need not forget. See, for example, at home, at work, you're a project manager, right? But home, what are you? It's a different role. So you can't approach your husband as a project manager. You can, but no, what will happen? For Vijay also, let's say he's a CEO of is a better example, isn't it? Yes. Now Raji is nodding. He is a CEO of a company or whatever. At home, what is he? Mouse. He's a mouse. Better accept it. All the husbands, they have to. Life will be very smooth. The CEO of a company comes home. I'm a CEO. Problem comes the moment you ring the bell. Mickey Mouse is entering the house. I'm magnifying it so that it becomes easy. You could be a CEO of a company, but when you're dealing with your clients, you're not a CEO. When you may meet a senator, you may meet a president of a country. You may be the most powerful person in the world, maybe one of the wealthiest person in the world. You can't approach president of a country with that attitude. You may do that. You will get into trouble. There are so many examples you can see happening in the real world. So for that, you need intellect. Then you become objective in whatever role you play. Simple point, I hope you understand. A long time back, maybe 15, 20 years back, I was staying, I think 20 years back, yeah, a place called as Waterloo, near Ontario. I was there for 4 or 5 months. And there's a very famous theater there called as Stratford. I think most of you know. So in that particular year, they had organized free play on Shakespeare. Like somewhere in the countryside, they had pitched up a huge tent and it was open to the public, amazing. And it was free or hardly like $5 they were charging, as opposed to $200, $300 you pay if you go to Stratford to watch a play. It's an amazing place. So it was 15 plays of Shakespeare in 1 hour. That was the theme. 15 plays of Shakespeare in 1 hour. And same actors, they were playing different characters. Are you with me? So for example, like person came and he acted as a Hamlet. Hamlet's personality is, we know, he had suicidal tendencies. And the same actor played the role of a Macbeth. Same actor played the role of what is that? Mark Antony. Mark Antony's oration. Mark Antony is totally objective as opposed to suicidal tendencies of. See, within 1 hour, he had to switch to so many roles. It's not easy. Same person played the role of King Lear. He is mad. When he goes mad, he enacted that. And same actor he gave that Mark Antony, friends, Romans, countrymen, lend me your ears. Well, it's a different skill. So this is what you need to understand. And that comes only when you are objective. So you need to switch off. At home, whatever you are, you go to the workplace, your home you cut off. Otherwise, you carry your worries of home to work and you bring your work home. So you are neither at home nor at work. That's what it means. Then he talks about human constitution. So we will discuss it. So can you just read the paragraph, Charu?
Yeah. Who is the person behind the various roles? What part or parts of his personality execute the act that he takes upon himself? What determines the success of the role he is engaged in? The layperson would attribute the cause for success to one's caliber. People all over accept such generalization and go no further. It is no doubt the caliber of the person that defines the performance in any field. But what determines the ability, competence, proficiency that go together to build the caliber of the person? That would need an examination of the individual, a study of the anatomy of a human being and the agency within him which is actually responsible in playing his roles in life.
Yeah, please continue.
A human is composed of spirit and matter. Spirit is self, the core of the human personality. Matter comprises vasanas, a Sanskrit word meaning one's inherent nature, innate bent. Vasanas manifest as body, mind, and intellect. The body perceives the sense objects through its sense organs and executes actions through its organs of action. The mind comprises impulses, feelings, emotions, likes, and dislikes. And the intellect thinks, reasons, judges, decides.
Perfect. So I think most of you must be attending Bhagavad Gita class. So 13 chapter, verse number 1 and 2, some people they had a tough time understanding. So here it becomes extremely simple. So can you project the chart? It's in the book, but we have made a PPT. It becomes easy to understand. Yeah, there you go. So see, the easiest way to understand is human being is a combination of spirit and matter. Matter on its own has no life, spirit on its own has no life. But when spirit, God principle, divinity, one and the same, comes in contact with matter, there is life, which is you and me, any being for that matter. So he explains that in detail. So what is that matter? Matter is nothing but vasanas. So when self, the God principle, comes in contact with vasanas, there is an expression of life, which is you and me. And vasanas, they manifest as body, mind, and intellect. So all of you know that. So body has got 5 organs of perception and 5 organs of action. So with organs of perception, what do? Eyes, ears, nose, tongue, and skin. These are the 5 organs of perception. So with these 5 organs of perception, what do? You contact the world. With eyes you see, with ears you hear, with nose you, with tongue you, and with what we forgot. The skin you touch. So this is how you're contacting the world. You're contacting the sense objects. So the world does not enter you. It is a stimuli from the sense objects which enters your personality. So you're talking to me. I'm talking to you right now. So you hear me, right? So what is it you're hearing? The sound. So how does sound enter your personality? How do you register the sound? Through ears. So that's what it means by perception. So organs of perception, there are 5 in number. To contact the world, the word we use is perceive. And with body has got organs of action. With organs of action, you act. Mind is a seat of your emotions. You feel emotions, likes and dislikes, and whims and fancies. So when you use your mind, you become a feeler. You feel emotions. When you use your intellect, when you use gross intellect, you become a thinker. What do you think? Thoughts of the world, the terrestrial world. But when you use your subtle intellect, Sukshma buddhi, you become a contemplator. What do you contemplate on? Beyond. What is something beyond this world? What's my mission in life? Why am I born as a human being? So that is the realm of subtle intellect. So therefore, you are a combination of perceiver, actor, feeler, thinker, contemplator. Are you all with me? It's quite straightforward. Now, you must find out which part of your personality you spend most of the time. That is where the whole education comes. Contemplate. You can't say you don't contemplate. Otherwise, what are you doing there? That's the ultimate aim. That's the stage before meditation. All your desires are reduced, hardly any desires are left, and the only mission in life is I want to merge with the supreme reality. How many of us can claim that? That's my ultimate mission in life. You can't say no. There are some thoughts, so you are contemplating or thinking. How many times in a day you're using your intellect? If it is more than 5 to 10%, you must congratulate yourself. It is a very high state. Most of our actions are propelled by mind, and not only propelled by mind, we are not aware of that. So, thinker, feeler, mind, this is quite familiar to us. Crying, screaming, yelling, all that is part of that. Then actor. So that, I mean, you again, he's talking about like dynamic action. How many of us are able to act dynamically without being drained out? And again, perception. So you are using your perception for what? The word in Vedanta is satsanga. So you have the capacity to take positive stimuli from the world. Also, you can take negative stimuli from the world. If you take negative stimuli from the world, it will corrode your personality eventually. If you take positive stimuli from the world, it will help you to evolve spiritually. So your spiritual evolution begins with what aspect of the world you contact. Yes, you have no control on everything, but you must put efforts that best of everything you contact. How much of news you should watch. There are people who have literally gone, I don't want to use the word, they become upset. War, 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 all the time. I mean, was there a period in human history when we did not fight with each other? At home we fight. I mean, why should not we fight collectively? I mean, what's the big deal? One person fighting with another, and 100,000 people fighting with another 100,000 people. There's no difference. So why necessarily, I mean, okay, you should know what's happening in the world. That's what you take that stimuli all the time. So it corrodes your personality. So you have that capacity to perceive the best of what world can offer, what kind of actions you are performing. Unselfish action is a key to success and peace. Or you can perform selfish actions. Again, with mind, what kind of emotions you are entertaining. It could be attachment, it could be possessiveness, or you could entertain noble emotions, unselfish emotions. Same about thoughts. So find out which part of the personality you are operating from. Most people are at a level of perception, action, and feeling. Thinking itself is not easy. Contemplation is a very high state, but you're capable. That's what it means. So try to understand this chart, and the whole thing is entire personality is enlivened by what?
Spirit.
The spirit, the God principle, the divinity, which is neutral. That is important point. The spirit, the God principle, has got absolutely nothing to do with how you manage your personality, what you perceive, what kind of actions you perform, what kind of emotions you entertain, what kind of thoughts you entertain, either you contemplating or not. Spirit, God principle has got nothing to do with it. So it all depends on you. So if you want to evolve spiritually, if you want to become a better human being, you need to work on the quality of your perception, action, feelings, and thoughts. Same perception, action, feelings, and thoughts you can use and mess up your life. Same equipment is same, but the same equipment you can use for what? To reaching the ultimate, to become a better human being. Yesterday I was with Shailesh Bhai and Lakshmi ji. So whatever Lakshmi ji cooks, I don't know what word to use, is gold. It's amazing. I mean, finger licking good. So Shailesh Bhai makes amazing, what do you call this, watermelon juice. And I make at home, but I don't know. I mean, something goes wrong all the time. I must learn. And this salad, that salad. Amazing food. But if I overeat, what will happen? Are you getting the example? Great food is there in front of you, but you overeat, what happens? I'm using an upset stomach. So can you blame the food?
No.
Same perception, action, feelings, and thoughts. Right? Same equipment we are having, body, mind, intellect. You can use same body, mind, intellect to mess up your life. The same body, mind, intellect you can use for what?
Mess up your mind.
No, mess up we already discussed. Let's talk positive. Same body, mind, intellect you can use for what?
Improving your life.
Improving your life and reach the ultimate state of
reality.
See, I don't know whether I'm able to convey. Everybody has got same body, mind, intellect. Christ had same body, mind, intellect, but he became Christ. Right? Same body, mind, intellect Buddha had. He became Buddha. From Gautama, he became Buddha. So every human being, all of us have that capacity. Nobody is denied that opportunity. This is what we have to understand. So that's the magic of being born as a human being. But what are you doing about it? So therefore, you need to understand and study human constitution. So in yesterday's class, we discussed that in detail, Bhagavad Gita. But here it becomes quite easy with the help of the chart. And most of you are attending both the lectures. So my job will be much easier next week. All right, so let's conclude for today. Any quick question before we conclude? All right, so see you next week.
Thank you.
Thank you, Miji.
Om
Thank
Hari
you,
Om.
Miji.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you, Miji.
Thank you.